Hey there, I'm Karen Doyle Buckwalter, co-author with Debbie Reed and Wendy Lyon Sunshine of the book Raising the Challenging Child. We have 30 lessons in this parenting book, and I want to share with you one of those lessons today. It's the second lesson that we write about in the book, and it's about letting everybody calm down. So one of the things that we know about our brain is that we have three parts in our brain. We have the top part, I'm going to represent it with my fist right here, which is the cortex, and then we have the midbrain, and then we have the back brain and the brainstem. And one of the things that we need for relationships to go well is we need to be up here in our cortex, in the thinking part of our brain, rather than the back part of our brain, which is much more reactive and survival oriented. So one of the ways that I explain this to people is if you, for example, are on a street and there's a car speeding down the street about to come at you, you are not thinking at all, you're reacting. You are going to jump out of the way of that car and get to safety on the side of the street. And you're not sitting there or standing there in the middle of the street thinking, well, I could stay here and maybe get smashed by this car, or I could, step aside and that would probably be a better option for me. Of course not. Your back brain, your survival part of your brain takes over and you just react. Well, parenting can be like that sometimes too. And when we are under stress, and when children are under stress, we all get very reactive and primitive in our decision making, just like those automatic reactions that we have in a fearful situation like I just described. And in order to be able to think about the other person's feelings, to make a good decision, even about how to handle something with your child, you really need to be in that upper part of the brain where you have your better thinking happening. And so one of the things that we want to really point out in this chapter is that there are times when it's just best for everybody to take a time out. Not just the kids, also the parents. Everybody needs a time out. No one makes their best decisions about parenting or other things when they're under stress and in those more primitive parts of the brain, sometimes called the reptilian brain. And it's called that for a reason, because it doesn't think so well. It thinks rather primitively. So that's the tip I have for today. Let everybody calm down and then try to reconvene, and you'll probably come up with a much better solution to whatever parenting challenge you're dealing with.